So I'm just waiting for my friend, fellow cyclist, a massive inspiration of mine. His name is Imran, a guy who cycles around the world actually. So I'm just waiting for him near the restaurant. Gonna have some vegan food. I'm gonna have a goodbye meal. Obviously I'm gonna shoot an interview with him as well. I think he's coming with a bike, cycle around the world actually. So it will be interesting to see. So yeah, stay tuned. Is that the same bike you went around the world?
Same bike, man.
Oh.
Same bike.
Good to see you.
Likewise, man. Likewise.
Yeah.
Look at that blue strip. Even Schwalbe themselves say they've never seen a strip that very thick and worn.
So these are Schwalbe Marathon Plus.
Schwalbe Marathon. Did I look at
this is the blue guard.
This is the blue guard. But look,
oh God! You went around the world with single set of tires?
Single set of tires, man. So I was risking it a lot. I mean, when I got to America, there was already this stripe here was like a bit skinnier than that, about half set, but they were in bubbles. And then I thought to myself, should I risk it going through America with these tires? But then I thought, you know, I kind of like, well, I got this far, I might as well risk it. But at the same time, I was thinking to myself, if I have a blowout in these tires in the middle of nowhere, and I got to hit a lift, I'm never going to forgive myself. So, but I risked it and I carried on. I never had a puncture throughout America.
So how many punctures did you have in total then?
Only one tyre, I had about 7-8 punches, but the other tyre was puncture resistant because there's a gash. I'll find it somewhere, but there's a gash on this tyre here, and I find out, you know, that debris was getting in there, and that was caused a puncture.
So you got the Route 66 sticker?
Yeah, from the year before. No, hang on. Let me flip the bike. If you flip the bike the other way, you'll see. Look at that. All the state stickers there from on the down tube. So you got the state. I went through Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona. So I kind of put this on when I did my Route 66 and that as well.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's quite
so this bike has seen some work.
I've taken the bar tape off to replace it. You know, the old bar tape.
Yeah.
And I've taken the saddle off. Everything else you see on it was the original stuff that I went around the world on. The same brake blocks, same tires, same wheels. You can see
brakes.
Same brakes. If you feel the rim on that, Domas, that's what I'm talking about. There's no indentation in that rim. Look, feel that.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's squared, and the same brake blocks. So 25. Actually, it's seen more than that. If you take into account my Route 66 journey, it's seen almost, I guess, 30,000 miles. These same wheels.
So what you've got? What gears have you got? You've got triple on the front.
I got a triple on the front, and at the back I've got 32 11.
1132. That's a 9-speed by the look of it. Yeah,
but the new transmission I'm putting on there will have 1130.
Is it?
No, at the time I haven't discovered the phone thing. Literally about a month ago. But this bike route toaster, it's again like you put it straight into the card. But since they overhauled their site to make it more, it just completely ruined it. It's glitchy. It's unusable. And then I started to go with ride with GPS.
Right with GPS.
Because I prefer, because Strava doesn't have Google Maps. It uses the like OpenStreet or something else. I'm very used to Google Maps. So the good thing with that is that you can do it all out on Google Maps. Not clear in my opinion, Google Maps.
I think Strava is killing that in these days.
Strava?
Well, they've got those, you know, like that popularity. When you go on Strava Route Builder, you have this popularity. So it has Strava, that's like biggest cycling database.
Yeah, it is now.
So it picks, you know, better routes, you know, better scenery.
I find bike route toasters.
You can't beat local knowledge.
No, you can't. But you know, like, you know, bike route toasters is the same. I mean, like, you know, he always picks like. I did my Scotland journey from there, and it took me off. It took me off the busy road. It took me to the amazing woodland. It's like one of the last shots you haven't seen that video where I'm going across this amazing woodland. It's like for 10 miles, quiet roads. You know what I mean, I couldn't believe it was kind of like paralleling, you know, to a really busy road, and you know when I was picking my route, when I was just going to Inverness, it just, you know, automatically took me that way. Whereas I had to be on that busy road for quite a while because there's no other route adjacent. So I find driving with GPS is, you know, so, you know, because you can use Google Maps, I find it's I prefer that because with Strava there isn't Google Maps on there. They've got another map system.
Yeah, but the problem with Google Maps is just taking you off the main roads and put you on the narrow roads.
Well, actually, if you arrive with GPS, you can choose bike route, you can choose non-motorways, you can fine tune it. And they all kind of use the same system. It's not like Strava use their own.
Did you use paper maps?
You know, since the Garmin's coming about, I used to use paper maps. This is how I used to.
You can't beat them paper maps.
You can't, and this is how I used to originally navigate from ripping out the pages I would read in a map rather than writing the whole book. And I became a really good map reader like that. But now with the Garmin and the Google Maps, knowing that you can have it all in your pocket, and it's more detailed when you zoom in because you know the.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because you know with thank you very much. With the paper map, it's not very detailed because you only have like one view, you know, and like a scale, and you can't zoom in and zoom out. And although I'm like an advocate of trying not to use my phone as much as I can and leaving it, the one amazing
taking off the view and everything off the road.
Yeah, because you know we're so engaged with our phone, with work, with life, and everybody. You know, half the time before we smash, half the time when we're cycling around, we're trying to flipping dodge people with the phones, and just walk out in the middle of the roads. You're that occupied with phones, even in normal life. I just find that subconsciously you drift towards that. I'm trying to disengage myself with the phone, and the thing is, but the one thing I would say, even on my world journey, the one most useful thing I've found, bar none, with Google Maps, having that on my phone.
Really?
Absolutely, the best thing ever. And that's when a phone, in my opinion.
The opposite. I have the opposite experience. I'm never gonna use Google Maps again.
Right? Well, why is that?
I have very bad experience every time. Every time I decide to use Google Maps, it's just taking me to unpaved roads. You know, like it picks the shortest route.
You're asking Google Maps to route your route. That's why.
Your Google Maps app on the iPhone.
For me, Google Maps is like a secondary choice just to back it up. And on my world journey, I found I had to use it quite a bit because I went off course. I went off my planned journey, and I had to let Google Maps plan my way. And kind of like it worked out alright for me. It worked out alright on that journey. I know if I had the chance, I would have sit down and planned it, pre-planned it even better, and choose the routes I wanted to choose from backwards. But because I had none of that, and I couldn't be asked to find an internet cafe that's compatible with my, I had to kind of like, it was ad hoc really. It was like, at that point I wasn't planning. I was just using Google Maps to pick my routes. And one of the most amazing things happened when I was in India. I never told you this, did I?
There's always something for
It's like with cycling touring, you really realise how small. One of the most amazing encounters I had on my world journey was this. Me and John had split from Arabia at that time, right?
I thought Turkey.
No, we split from Arabia.
Okay.
We cycled all the way across Turkey, then Georgia, and we ran, and then we both sailed over the Persian Gulf to Arabia, to UAE, and then from UAE, after spending a couple of weeks together, he got on the flight to Kyrgyzstan, and kind of like got back on the route we were supposed to go on. But for me, we're one door closed, another one open. We agreed together we'll go to. We agreed together that we'll go to India, but then John met up with the third guy who was in the same dilemma. What happened was John wanted to get back on route, and he got a 3-month China visa, so he flew to Kyrgyzstan. What's the capital of Kyrgyzstan? Bishkek? But when he was there, I went further on to Oman. He got off at UAE, I went to Oman, and then I went to Muscat. Now, India was my next country, and when John was in a hospital in the capital of Kyrgyzstan, he met this one French guy, his name was Adrian, and he was telling us about our journey, because we had a few videos at that point, and he was telling about our journey and what happened to us with that gunshot incident, all that stuff. And Adrian had been on the road for quite a while. I think he'd been on the road for about half a year. He was going like here and there. I don't know. He wasn't going around the world. He was doing a big journey around Europe. And then John said, Adrian said, I'm going to India next. And John said, oh, you might meet my friend Imran, as a joke.
Really?
And right, this is it. And like on the 10th or 11th day going to India, I meet this one guy. I'm going towards Agra. And I see a cyclist coming down the other way. And that was the first cycle tourist I saw in India. I never saw any other cycle tourists in India. Yeah, that was the first one.
Well, it's not cycling country, is it? It's Pringles.
Fried fish cakes, yeah. And then I see this one white guy coming in the distance. And you know, so we were there, he was on the side of the road coming down south. I'm going, and this wasn't in the city, this was a planned meeting. We were just two cyclists passing by. You know what he said? Imran! When he said that, I almost had a heart attack. I'm like, how the fuck do you know my name? How the hell do you know my name? Because I met your friend John in Kyrgyzstan, and he kind of said as a joke that I might meet you. And I couldn't believe in the middle of nowhere, in India, he's going south, I was heading north. We met in the flipping middle of a dual carriageway in India. That was like the freakiest meeting ever. And then you realise how small the cycling was, small, you know, it wasn't planned and nothing. I didn't even knew about this guy until he told me that he met John and all this stuff.
See,
Shut the hell up.
Well, cycling in India, it's not very popular, is it? It's for lower caste, is it?
No, Indians, no. The Indians don't cycle tall.
Yeah.
They don't cycle tall.
It's dangerous in India to cycle.
It's like anywhere else in the world.
You've got to be careful.
Here I am in India, and it's a very free for all kind of place. You know, driving down a hard shoulder of a dual carriageway. That hard shoulder isn't a hard shoulder. It's a free for all lane. There's cows coming that way, there's trucks coming that way, there's heavy farming machinery coming that way, and you are dodging them all day long. And so it's a very free. When you get to a city, it's so congested that you've got to kind of weave your way around. So really, you will find that when you come to a country, right, you kind of figure out how to work. If you try to apply these laws of cycling up here, that mentality, you won't last long. So you kind of like, say with Iran, say with any country, when you adapt, you find out how their traffic works, and you play them at their own game. Now, a country like India, that is so free for all, very unorganized, traffic lights don't mean a thing. There's no indication, it's just horn. And it says please horn as well on the back of the lorry. Please horn, please horn. So you see coaches going by, and there's about 50 guys on top of the flipping coach. You know what I mean? It's like someone going back to flipping. You never see that, it's so crazy. But
how about
yeah,
in Iran?
Oh.
So tell about the story in Iran.
Are we on film here?
It's filming.
Oh, no. I didn't realise.
No, you can swear, it's fine.
No. You know,
it's allowed on my channel.
Tehran, now, prior to me going to Tehran, right? Oh, I already knew this at the time. I knew this at the time. And that was a very scary statistic.
Basically, the most dangerous roads in the world.
Basically,
the most
fatalities, not cyclists, most fatalities in any country in the world, on the roads, in any country in the world, in Iran, the most fatalities in Iran. So I knew this fact. But when I was going through Iran, it was okay. The only time it became crazy was in Tehran. Because with the Iranians, what they do is they make, when you got 3 lanes, I'm heading towards the center of Iran now, where there's a big Azadi Square, where there's that big thingy that the Ayatollah Khomeini had built or something. I'm going to center of there, and I'm in the middle of 3 lanes. And in those 3 lanes, the Iranians have made 5 lanes into 5 lanes out of 3 lanes. They're not following the grid lines there. I can see 5 lanes of cars, and me and John are in the middle of that carriageway. It was about this dark, as you see outside, like kind of twilight. Nobody had the lights on, nobody's indicating. We saw cars in front of us going from this lane to that lane, and we were just thinking, this is where we're gonna flip it dying around. You know what I mean? But luckily, the Iranians have this such knack.
So you thought if you're gonna die on the journey, it's gonna be
here, man. It's gonna be around. And I thought Tehran was our, you know, we couldn't just get off, we couldn't just signal. I don't know if the Iranians understood signaling. But anyway, the way to go. What happened was, but everybody, the drivers weaved around us. We just took our line, and they just went around us. Amazing, man. Imagine that. Being in the middle of the M1, which is 3 lanes, that's 6 lanes. You're wedged in between 2 cars, either side of you, all going about 50 miles an hour. Yeah. And you're thinking this is it. And everybody's going around you. Nobody's signaling.
So that was the Silk Road you were following, right?
We were kind of going to see. I suppose the Silk Road go through Tehran, I'm not sure. Yeah.
But your intention
prior to that, from Armenia, we were on the Silk Road for a long time in the north of Iran.
But your intention wasn't, when you set up with John, your intention wasn't to go around the world. No. And then you just decided later, you know, like... Yeah, my intention was this. When I left home,
I kind of said I'm gonna try and ride to Singapore to see if I make it that. Because it's the furthest I can go on the Asian mainland, you know. And I said to myself, if I get to Singapore, if I get there, I will assess how I'm doing mentally and physically, how I'm doing. You know what I mean? Because even before I got to Singapore, I wanted to quit a couple of times. You know what I mean? On about 3 separate occasions, I wanted to quit. And that's long before I got to Singapore. But
yeah, I just never quit. You need to have that mentality. You need to be ready for it.
By the time I got to Singapore, what did I see? I saw the Equator Divide was actually an island hop away from me on a boat, Indonesia. And so my lure to Indonesia was the Equator Divide. And so I got the boat from Singapore to Indonesia. One of the best boat rides I've ever had in my life, by the way. Best boat ride. You'll see I'm beginning my India. That was just the best boat ride ever, man. But it was great. It was like a speedboat, a passenger boat. And we had the back of that, hanging off the back of it. And it stops between these little broken islands. And these guys get on and they're selling you rice in bananas leaf and selling you chicken. And it was amazing, man. It was like so informal, you know. Very old school. So it was amazing. I mean, and then it was about third or fourth day of riding, and very, very hilly. One thing about Indonesia really zapped you. The hill just kept coming and it was just steep. They weren't long, but just one after the other, for miles upon miles upon miles, and just steep. About 15-20% plus sometimes. So Indonesia really zapped me. And I got to the equator the third day, and I remember riding up the equator, never been to the southern hemisphere, to ride on my bike for the first time. That was a moment, man. For me, because you know, here I got to the Equator Divide, to the equator, I was southern hemisphere on my bicycle, more or less. And but you know, and that was early on in Indonesia. And I was there for about a month, and when you go through Indonesia, you kind of forget about crossing the equator. You just enjoy Indonesia because the country, like Iran, unbelievable hospitality, friendliness. It was like because Singapore is very like Dubai. It's quite expensive. People have done well there. You've got to be rich to own your own house.
Yeah.
Nobody has any land there. I mean, everybody lives in flats, and everything's very expensive. But it's like being in the west and the east, really, you know. Whereas Indonesia was very similar, although not as poor as India and poverty, but it was very similar to that. You know what I mean, in terms of how they drive and just how busy a city would be, and you know, it's like
it's a massive gap, like massive between poor and rich. Like it's very divided. It's like either very poor or very rich, right?
I found that in Indonesia. But I don't know if they were poor. I mean, everybody's kind of like working there, working class. It was not like the poverty you see in India. I mean, I never saw that many beggars.
It's like in Morocco as well. Like, I've seen that in Morocco. It's like, but I'm not sure it's like whether it's poverty for them or not. But like to me, it looked like poverty. Yeah. But for them, it's just like maybe they don't really find it a poverty. I mean,
for them, it's work. I had nobody asking for money. I couldn't see any beggars asking. Sometimes there were beggars.
They do in Marrakesh.
No,
because there's loads of tourists.
They do surplus outside. They'll be outside of some of the supermarkets there. You know, sitting there, like, you know, you give them what you can if you have any change, whatever. And also the Indonesian people are so hospitable that you know you kind of feel almost like it's your right to actually give to anybody. You know what I mean? Because the Indonesian people are so hospitable. I was telling you that I got to sleep in the mosque there because it was so warm during the day that I'd let a couple of hours pass, and when I wake up on a couple of occasions, somebody's left a bag right next to me while I've been asleep, and they left in there food like crisp packets, snacks, water, all that kind of stuff. Amazing. And a couple of times, this happened about 3 times in Indonesia.
So what people are most hostile? You find? Which people are more hostile? Indonesia, India?
Hostile?
Yeah, hostile.
I wouldn't say there's any country that was hostile. We had hostile moments, but I would say India because in India sometimes you got to find out in India. You can't just go in there and out. You got to spend time there. I never knew what the term. I always remember hearing that term growing up that India is never a holiday but an experience. I remember hearing this term a lot. My dad used to say, my dad used to say as well, go to India, so then you'll be grateful for everything you have in life. This really means that in the financial sense.
It's just an eye-opener. Yeah. So Morocco was for me as well, an eye-opener.
So because I didn't blend in well in India, other than when I was on my bike, then I looked like I was from outside. Otherwise I'd blend in. But what happened was In India, you kind of realize fast that people don't say thank you, please. It's like do this, do that. Like put it like Nikal Jayan said me, like go from here. It's no hello and please. You know, people come up to you, don't even say hello. It goes, they start asking about my bike. How much was this on your bike? How much was that on your bike? Because I've seen a bike with gears. They call it a gear wala.
Yeah.
Like me, the gear one. Yeah. And so they're not familiar with the gears. So when they see gears and all the bike packed up, and they'd ask a bit about. Nobody would ask where I come from, where I'm going to, how far I've come. It's always like, how much is this? How much is that? How much is this? Yeah. And after about, when that happens almost on a daily basis, you get fed up with that pretty fast, man. It's like, here I am on a packed up bike. Why did they ever ask me about my journey? A couple of times they did, but most of the times they never did. And one day I was in a roadhouse cafe, many of those in India, like 24-hour truck stops. And you can use them for free, by the way. You can just park your bike up. It's not a hotel, it's just like, one of these. The bed is like a bloody wooden table that sits low. You sit on that and eat. Put it at the back, put your sleeping bag on there, and you sleep in the hotel. And
that's where the lorry drivers sleep, right?
Anybody passing that through at night, and they're open 24 hours. You got one or two guys working. You have, around the clock.
So
you haven't heard the full version.
So okay, so tell us a story about Georgia entering the Georgia story.
You want to hear the long version or the short version?
It's fine. The food is not here, so we can get a long one. So.
It's an amazing story because that's at the time it was very stressful, but once all the dust has settled, it's the best ever book material you can ever possibly, or the best story you could ever hope to, you can ever give any saying. Now listen, but I'll start by saying first that getting to Georgia was very imperative because when we applied for our visas a few months earlier, we ordered to pick the number and everything was attached to the Georgian embassy in Georgia. So it's imperative we got through Georgia, not thinking that it would be a problem at the time. Had we not gone to Georgia, it would have been a long backtrack, go to Trabzon, which was on a busy dual carriageway, 100 miles back, and over the mountains and take a different route take a separate route to Iran. And I didn't want to go back on that dual carriageway, it was horrible. So what happened was,
can I another one?
We come to the Georgia border. It was a busy afternoon. Obviously the border crossing very busy there. Very sunny, very hot day, as it was in Turkey. And so here I am at the border, and usually in every other border, right, you just go where the cars are going because you're on a bicycle, it's like a vehicle. But for some reason, right, in Georgia, they have like this massive U-shaped terminal, like a big U-shape inside.
Yeah.
And you can see.
I'm sorry, I apologize. The main course, what did you order?
2 red Thai curries.
2 red curry vegetarian.
Yeah.
Yes. And then rice.
3 coconut rice.
3 coconut
3
rice.
portions, yeah. So this terminal is. I don't get why we have to go through the terminal and walk on bikes there. That was a bit odd. You can see the exit point there, and you have to take a long walk for nothing really. So, the busy afternoon, we go there, we queue up. John's ahead of me. His passport was more modern than mine. Mine was like I had like 2 years left before its expiry date, and John was relatively new, with all the electronics in there, with the new security system. So John's there first. Look at John's passport. Bang! Welcome to Georgia. You know what I mean? With me, she looks at my passport. She freezes. The camera next to the booth.
Yeah. But it's the same UK passport, right?
Yeah, it's same UK. No, it's a bit older, but it's valid for 2 years.
It's valid.
And she goes, looking at the camera. I was looking, okay, what's going on here? And she goes, do you have any other form of ID? He goes, why? No, I don't. It's because we can't let you in with this passport. I go, why not? Because we don't like this passport, it's old. That's the explanation she gave me. I go, what do you mean it's old? She goes, it's got 2 years left and it's expired date. It expires in 2015. We're in 2013 here. She goes, no, we don't like this passport, I'm afraid we can't let you in with this passport unless you have another ID where we can clarify, we can't let you in. And now John on the other side, he's having been stamped, and John was planning more panic than I am. He doesn't understand what's going on. So John doesn't look like I'm going to get through here. Then after a bit of, haggling, that's his right. I said, she goes, oh, we don't like the passport. I said, you don't like me or you don't like the passport? What's the deal here?
Yeah.
You can see like my bike and my friend and
Yeah.
and then a big stern guard comes out and then he said like, he's like gesturing me to follow him. I'm like, oh shit, man, this guy's
Got
not.
yourself in trouble now.
No, I'm not in trouble. He's just basically taking me back to the other side.
Okay. All right.
And John's like in a panic there. Well, I need to come back in, so he had to kind of wrangle his way back to get his stamp in cancelled.
All right.
So now we're both together now, me and John, and we're going back to that long terminal again. And we don't understand what's going on. And the guard, the big, tall, 6'5" stern guard, passes on to another guy. And this guy goes, "Where are you taking us?" He goes, "Oh, we can't let you. We're gonna go take you back to the border." I'm like, bloody hell, man! How the hell? What's going on here? We don't know what's going on. We couldn't really register what was going on. I said to myself, "Shit, man! I don't understand." So I said to me, "Well, you know, we have to get in touch with the embassy because this is not right. Something's wrong here." But this was a Saturday, and the embassy
Nobody's working.
nobody's working in the embassy on a Saturday. So what happened was that guard who was taking us back to Turkey, which is only about a minute walk, you know. The guard who's taking us back to Turkey, he goes like this. He goes, "Listen, these guys can be arsey, man. Just come back here at 8 o'clock when it's dark. There'll be a new set of people on there. Those guys will finish about 6, 7. They'll be after 8 o'clock."
Really?
Yeah, he was being sympathetic. He said, these can be arseholes, these guys. Just come back at 8, you'll get through. So, okay.
So do you think that was a racist thing?
I'll tell you what it was. And me and John like, okay, we gotta get on the phone to somebody because, you know, in the embassy, let's see if it's open, whatever. And then this guy is kind of eavesdropping in our conversation, and he kind of hears that to the fact that I didn't get in, and he goes, "Oh," he goes, "Excuse me, did you not get in as well?" Oh, yeah, I didn't get in. He goes, "Yeah," he goes, "They refused me too." Because why did they refuse you? Because look, I got all the paper documents and everything, but because my passport's Syrian, they didn't recognize it, and they asked me where I was from. I said, "I'm from Syria," and they go, "Are you Arab?" They go, "I'm from Syria." He goes, "Are you Arab?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm Arab." He goes, "Sorry, we can't let you in with this passport."
Really?
Now here's the thing, right? This is my conclusion. As they asked me why they didn't let me in.
Sorry, I bring you the plate. You want the dinner plate?
Yeah, can I have a flat plate, please?
Yeah. Me the same.
Yes.
Now, what happened was, then I realized we confused a lot of people going through Turkey. The reason why was all the Turks thought I was Arab. They thought either I was from Saudi or I was from Yemen. I wasn't even wearing my British shemagh at this time. I only wore that on Arabian onwards. So I realized that these guys must have thought I was Arab because he's an Arab and they didn't let him in. So my only conclusion was like, it's probably down to prejudice, because why else would they not let me in? It's a valid passport. They can see I've been stamped through.
And it's clearly they're travelling on a bike.
Yeah, but how about the previous
With the guy
times?
as well.
With a guy. Why did not let me through? Why didn't you get a second identity that I didn't have one? So and we made friends with this guy and all that stuff, and we heard his situation, and he was kind of like waiting around as well for answers and stuff. So we got to make friends with this guy, and thinking that, you know, this is the reason why I've not been let in, because they probably think I'm Arab and they're not taking a chance.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. So what happened was, me and John then, we thought, okay, well, we've got about 6 hours. We've got about 4 hours to kill. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Thank you. I'll just tell the story, Emily, yeah? We've got about 4 hours to kill. So we just went 3 or 4 miles back the other way, a couple of miles back the other way, and there was a nice pebble beach along the Black Sea. You know, it's all like pebbles there. There's like a little, you know, bar, you know, beach bars and all that, like a restaurant. And we just chilled there, and it's okay, John, we've got a second plan here now, right? So, you know, what happens, right? If they stop you this time, we're planning this as we go, we're planning this at the beach now. If they stop you this time, right? Just tell them that, you know, you've had a word with your embassy, that you want diplomatic, you know, you want it official on paper as to the official reason you are refusing me entry to your country. You want it just on paper and an official reason, so I can present it to my embassy. Okay. Just tell them that you talk to your embassy and all that. This is not bullshit. This is plan A. And if you're not plan A, you're not plan B.
Because by the book they have to.
Yeah. You've got to provide us something as to why a British citizen will not be allowed entry. So
a British citizen is like one of the best passports in the world.
Absolutely. You find that on a world journey, particularly.
I haven't got a British passport.
Lithuania might be. Because
It's not as good.
Yeah.
It's not as good, but I don't need visa to America.
Okay.
You know, I need to get that E-thing.
E-thing, yeah. So the thing is, so what happened at this point, right? At this point, my beard was a bit grown out, and I had a close trim. I put on a new shirt, look more presentable. Put my big bike up, put my big light on my bike, you know, to make it look like I had a bit of money and you know that I'm not messing about. I can't be a Port Arab guy. Surely I come from England. So now dust has settled now, right? No, dusk has come now, right? And it's 8 o'clock. I'm making my way back to the border, and John says to me, "Imran, I'm going to wait by here. If you get in, right, just give me a text or a call, and I'll come straight away." So he's waiting to see if I can get through first. So now I go back. I get my Turkey stamp, you know, the one that I had cancelled earlier, the exit stamp. I got a re-stamp to get myself out. Leaving Turkey, no problem. Now what I tried to do is I tried to go bypass the terminal and go exactly where the cars were going. But then a guard just ushered me in, so no, you gotta go that way. So I tried that, it didn't work. And now here I am. Now it's completely dead at this time. Completely, nobody's there. Maybe a couple of people walking. And remember, it's a long walk. It's a long walk. I walked to that terminal. All this time, right, my heart is beating fast now. Faster than beat at any point on the bike. I'll think to myself, God, please let there be a shift change. Let there be different people. Just please, God, let there be different people. And I come back now, and the setup was this: there were 3 booths, yeah, and now nobody's there, it's empty. And I come back, and the same people that refused me entry were there again. The same people, the same guard, the same woman, everything was there. I'm like, oh, and I just had a sunken feeling. Oh shit! I gotta go through with it. Okay, so I come back up, and the woman goes, "Oh, you come back. I can't let you in. I told you before." He goes, "Yeah, I know you told me that. Okay, but this is what happened, right? But listen, I phoned my embassy.
So you're going for the plan?
Yeah, this is my plan. I phoned my embassy, right? Now I want to see this documented. That why the Georgian Immigration Authority are refusing a British citizen entry. I want this official, so I can take this document and then I can go back to the embassy and then we'll take it from there." And she was flustered. She's like, "I don't know what to do." And the big guard like came out and goes, "Yeah," I goes, "This is my document because you got to tell me why you refused me entry." Guard goes, "Okay, I'll be back one moment." He goes into his office. I think to myself, "Oh, fuck. He's going to bring something out. What's going to show that we can't take a one passport or something to that effect, where he's going to show me there's going to be some sort of you know, some script that says, official script that says this is the reason you're refused." And at this time, the woman, who's quite pretty, was taking sympathy on me, you know, because she just followed the orders. And then she said to me, "Listen, I'm sorry, but you know," I goes, "Yeah, I understand. I know you're only doing your job." Yeah. She goes, "But you lied to me earlier." She goes, "What do you mean I lied?" She goes, you said you had been through France and Switzerland and Liechtenstein and Austria, Italy, Slovenia, but I don't see a stamp for these countries." I was like, "Is this a trick question?" "No, it's part of the EU. You don't need a stamp. I'm a British citizen. I don't need a stamp." And she goes, when I told her that you don't need a stamp as a British citizen, she goes, Oh. I realised there that she didn't have a flipping clue. As long as you're pretty and you can stamp a passport, you got the job. Because they're all flipping models these days, you know. And now, a few minutes later, right, I said to myself, you know, I really want to get to Georgia because I want to see your country, and I come all this way from England. And look, I'm doing it for charity as well, so I showed them my charity stickers on my bike.
You're doing that for charity?
Yeah, I was doing it for charity as well, but I had to play the charity card here as well now. That's my advantage. Well, listen, I'm riding for charity, I'm trying to get to Georgia, and she would take a sympathy, I mean, but she was powerless. The decision lay with that big guy. 5 minutes go by and he comes out and he goes, "Right, follow me." And I'm thinking to myself, fuck, he's taking me back the same way I came. And he's taking for a long walk. I go, "Sir, I need my document. Have you got the document?" He come out empty-handed. He goes, "Just follow me." I'm thinking, oh shit, man.
John was waiting all that time.
He was by the Black Sea. I think to myself, shit, this is not gonna work. And now at this point now I had a sunken feeling. I'm thinking to myself, you know what, this ain't gonna work, man. But like, here we get to the end of the terminal. Instead of taking a left, taking me back to the terminal, the Turkey terminal, he starts taking me that way, and I'm thinking to myself, where is he taking me? And it takes me to this group of guys. One guy with, you know, this one little short guy, you know, bald head, having a cigar with his mates. And he's just like, you know, you go down to a pub like a like a sleeveless shirt, you know, unbuttoned and jeans and you know, his fat chubby guy flipping about 6 years old with a cigar and having shots of whiskey with about 4 of them, and they all and he goes and he takes me to this guy. He goes, well, who's this guy? He goes, oh, he's the boss. And I goes, oh, I understand you are trying to get into my country with this passport. I goes, yeah, I am. Now what I figured, before I say what happened in that moment, what I figured was the big guy, he must, when he was in that room, when I was in the terminal, he must have said, look, boss, we've got a guy who looks Arab, but he's asking for this and that. What should I do? I don't know what to do. And the boss said, fuck it, bring him to me, I'll deal with the flipping Arab. So here I am, here I am now in front of this guy, right? And I was thinking to myself, listen sir, now here I am, this is where having a gift of gab really comes to its own. Now, listen sir, I come all this way to Georgia to see your beautiful country, all the way from Europe. When he heard this, he goes, really? Really? You came all this way to Georgia? I said, yeah, I came all this way, man. In reality, I never heard of Georgia until a couple of months ago. The only Georgia I knew was a state in America. I never knew there was a country called Georgia. You know, it was a little insignificant little blot on the map that I never knew was there.
Then you knew about Stalin and everything.
Yeah. Then obviously you learn about the country when you go along. I never knew I was in Stalin's hometown until I got there. Now, so here I am at the border, and now I've impressed this guy. I can see I've got this vibe that I'm winning him over. So I said, yeah, listen, look. So I pull out my photographs. Look, here's London. Here's the House of Parliament. Here's you go through the border of Slovenia, Italy, and he's like, wow, this is really good. He goes, oh wow, look. I go, listen, sir, why aren't you letting me in your country? I'll come all this way. Look, even America let me into their country. He goes, really? So he looked at my passport, flicking through. Look, there's a stamp. He goes, oh. That took him back a bit. Because yeah, I got through America. So then there was a bit of an awkward silence, and I thought, shit, what should I do now? You know, he wasn't saying anything to me. He wasn't looking at my passport and just, I didn't know what was in his mind. So I said, let me show you something. Now I'm a card magician. I do David Blaine magic, and it's something I've known for many years. So I said, sir, just give me one moment. Yeah? Just let me show you something. I go into my bag, pull out my cards, and one of the first trick I did, it was something very similar to what David Blaine does, card street magician. The first trick I showed him, right? When he saw that, he started looking at his mates, everybody's jaw dropped, they were just laughing at each other, hysterically taking a couple of shots. And even that stern guard, who only had one expression throughout the whole flipping day, even his jaw dropped now. So that's how I showed another one. So I was showing him the second trick, right? And then by the time I had the second one, he was like, these guys were laughing now, they were like jumping around. Because, whoa, show me another one. And now I'm really impressed with these guys who do my magic tricks. You know, this is when it shows that, you know, it used to be a hobby, but now this is working my way now. I didn't realize that this hobby of mine is paving the way to a country for me. And I said the best trick to last. I should have bought my car today, I can show you. And I said the best trick to last. At this point, before I showed the best trick, John, who hadn't heard from me for a while, had come through. He'd already come through. And he'd already gone through Turkey, and he said, man, I can't believe you're doing this. He saw me pulling out my tricks with all these guys, with the official. Because he was the only official, was the one dressed in official clothes, everybody else looked like they were down the pub. And the last trick I did blew him away so much that he goes, welcome to Georgia. You will love our country, it's beautiful, welcome. So look at this. A legit valid passport didn't get me to Georgia. Sweet diplomatic talking, bullshitting, and card magic is what got me into Georgia, not the official stuff. Now at this time, the guard took me back to the border crossing now, and I was like so relieved. Like I wouldn't believe it until I saw the stamp first. The guard took me back, and now all these women, all these people, when you get to the border, you know how intimidating it can be. All these women that wouldn't smile and show me stern images. Now the guard was starting to say to me, show these women the magic as well. And now I'm impressing these women with the card magic, making them sign cards and making them PA elsewhere.
Just
and
to
now,
get the stamp.
And now, you know, 6-7 hours earlier, these people wouldn't even let me into the country. They were giving me the most stern looks. And now I hear them at the border, and I have them jumping around little kids while I'm stamping my passport. And the word got out on the other side, which was busy. going to Jordan wasn't busy, going to Turkey was busy. And the word got out, and the rest of that evening was like, I had to show groups of people that, you know, this guy does magic, and I was stared within a couple of groups, and I had cars of 30, 40 around me. And then for the rest of the night, we was dodging cars that were making, you know, When in Georgia, they drive like when one car overtakes, second car, when one car's going, the second car's trying to overtake it, and then the third car's trying to overtake the second, and the fourth car's trying to overtake the third, and they drive out, and they come into your lane, almost taking you out.
It's hilly as well, Georgia.
Yeah, we was going to Batumi.
It's just hill. There's no flats, no nothing.
We was going to, I forgot the name of the border crossing. But anyway, we were going to the next town, but we had to get off the roads because the people were either drunk, you know, people drink driving. I don't know, because the cars were driving to our lane and they were missing us by inches. And then that night, I'll finish up by saying that night, it didn't end there. We thought that we'd had the most. We couldn't find anywhere to camp, you know. And we found this one neon lit light, and it was like it had like a hotel on the side of it. So me and Josh said, okay, we'll take this. It looked very, very seedy, and you know, it was really late at night, like 1 o'clock in the morning now. So we go upstairs, and we see one door open and two women lying on top of a guy. What's going on here? With the door open. But before we went there, we went past the lobby, and we saw about 3 women looking at us, all in tight dresses. You know, you could tell they were like Uzbekistan. There was a brothel. Yeah. And then one of these women were trying to come in and give us a servicing and all that, and trying to break into our shower and all that. And we'd had enough that night that we know it was like. No way. And the next morning, the guy who owned the brothel or hotel was trying to rip us off. So that was my entry to Georgia. When I get back from my journey, I want to concentrate more writing my book, because my book is, John writes really good. His book is almost done now.
He's a teacher, right?
He's a teacher in
Oman,
Oman,
as well. So.
But he writes unbelievable. I should send you some of the stuff that he's written. And because John writes so good, I was a bit intimidated by mine, and my back injury took a lot of momentum out of my writing. But when John read it, and he goes, "Man, this is unbelievable," because what you write about is you relate a lot of your past into the present or your journey. That's what I do in my writing, even though, you know, Alistair Humphreys, the adventure guy, I don't know. He's very famous, Alistair. You know the guy who does micro-adventures, writes the micro-adventures book and all that?
No, I've not read.
But anyway, he went around the world 4 years on a budget of £7,000, and he's like one of my heroes that I looked up to before I did this journey. And you know, he gave me advice saying, "Imran, when you write a book here, just get it all out of words. Forget about the clutter, forget about paragraphs, just get it all out of words. It can be crop edited,
Would you
paragraph."
like chocolate fudge cake or sticky toffee cake?
Chocolate fudge, sticky toffee, chocolate fudge cake with ice cream. Like, is it warm?
Yes.
Yeah. Dumbest man. You missed it out, man.
I'm really
no,
not.
I respect that.
I'm really not.
No.
I'm really not.
Okay, only if you feel you're not. Then that's
like
okay.
I don't feel like it.
No, that's alright. As long as you don't feel like it.
I think this is just it's not for me.
Go on.
This stuff is not for me, and I don't want to eat it. I know where it's coming from. I don't want to eat it, and that's fine.
You know, when I'm on the road, I'm a vegan. You know that. I don't eat meat on the road. I mean, my diet when I'm on the road
you eat
now.
a bit of dairy, I guess.
In what form?
Well, let's say, would you eat naan bread? Naan bread is not vegan.
They have naan bread in Europe. Naan bread you can't get hold of in Europe.
So yeah, that's a good. Actually, this is a good question. What are you eating when you're on the road?
Pasta, noodles, fruits, lots of fruits, lots of biscuits, lots of junk food. Yeah. Not like burgers. I'm talking about. You know, like lots of if I get to like McDonald's,
sugar stuff.
If I see McDonald's, the only one thing I have, whether I'm in the UAE where it's halal, whether I'm here, it's only one thing I have on the menu in McDonald's. That's fillet of fish. Yeah. If I do, I have nothing else. But usually I try to eat local stuff. India's great for vegetarian. As a vegan, India will be a ball for you, man.
Oh yeah.
Hindus.
So looking forward to this.
India is awesome for that because everywhere you stop there. There was no meat.
Southeast Asia, basically.
Yeah. There was no meat. I mean, like, you know, the Hindus predominantly, they don't eat that. So, you know, we eat like, you know, gobi and lentils and palak and, very, very good. Bread. And,
so you stick only to halal food? Only, strictly?
But when I'm on the road, I don't eat chips. Listen, there's no country I'm going through where I'm going to be passing, unless I come to like Paris or something like that. Or like the big towns and cities in France where there's always a Muslim population. But I never eat their kebabs because their kebabs always that shit on a stick going around in circles, man. And you can tell, see all the satch just dripping off that. It just looks. When I go into,
it's just when you look at it, it's just not right when you look at it.
Again, when I go into Five Guys, the worst is bloody. The worst is Almost Famous, man. When I see the Almost Famous food, the burgers put together, my stomach kind of turns upside down a little bit. You know what I mean? Subconsciously. It's just
really saucy. It's just like
just
pornography. And it's not
fucking worse. It's drug. The carcinogenic because you know bad bakery, really bad, man. And you know, so when I'm on the road, I'm a vegan, and even when I look at Five Guys, look at the meat being slapped around, and it just doesn't seem right, man. You know, actually, Thomas, I'm a semi-vegan, man. I eat meat very little. Chicken now and then, but really bulk of my diet is bloody vegan based, man, and I prefer it that way. Actually. Yeah, I actually prefer. I don't eat eggs anymore. I've given up on eggs. I don't want to do cakes and all that.
It helps you to get keep yourself lean as well.
I'm lean anyway because of my lifestyle. You know what I mean? I've always been lean because of the bicycle. The bicycle is the answer.
How did you get into cycling? When did you start cycling?
The cycling is. Everybody cycles when they're a kid, but then there was this long sabbatical, this long period where when I was in high school, I never went without a bike. Then one day I was in my area. This is back in 1997. It's going a long way back now, man. Look, they are 20 years. 20 years. And what happened was...
How old are you now?
I'm 38.
38?
Now, yes. This is when I was 18. I had
5 years older than me.
Yeah. So I had a long time off the bike at this time. I hadn't ridden it since I was like 3 years at this point. Now I'm in this area with my best friend at the time. And we're just sitting on the wall watching the traffic go by and watching the world go by. And I said to him one day, I was going for a walk with Tesco around the road. I said to him one day, wouldn't it be good if we just got out of the area? I don't know, let's just get some bikes. It wasn't the first thing on my mind. It was like, you know, yeah, let's get some bikes. At least, you know, we can get around faster. So that week I acquired a bike, you know, a cheap one. And I was using that bike to go between college and my part-time job every day, Monday to Friday, which I had. And I was doing that for 5 months on my bike until one day, I left my bike outside to get a milkshake inside a shop, and thinking that nobody's going to take it, who's going to take this crock of shit? And it came out after 5 months of cycling, you know, around Leeds, my bike had been taken. The furthest I'd ever been to at that point was Leeds and Bradford Airport and back, and I thought that was so far away. That was the furthest I'd ever been at 18. When I came outside and I found my bike being taken, that was the moment I realised that how much I loved and depended when I didn't have it, because
it's like with most things, you know, like you realise how much you work
when it's gone.
When it's gone, yeah.
And that's what happened with the bike. So then, a few days later, I took a loan from my uncle. I didn't have the money, and I upgraded my bike. And from then over the years, I never looked back. It just grew and grew and grew and grew and blossomed to something, to another level, man. To racing, to all disciplines, to racing, to just casual riding.
So did you get actually into racing?
Yeah, I got into
it. How did you get into racing?
Because I was
cycling club, Albarossa? Or?
No, Albarossa didn't form until only like a few years ago. But there was like a Leeds road racing club, which doesn't exist anymore. So basically, I was starting to ride my bike more and more and riding faster and faster. I had a speedometer, and I was doing pretty good average speeds for a mountain bike. And that got me curious about racing and how fast I can go on a road bike. And that kind of led me down to the road racing part, where I got in contact with somebody from the club. They invited me on a bike to buy, and then I got myself a road bike in 2002, you know, and then I started to race, and I did pretty well, pretty fast, because I was very good at climbing, my body weight was low, I had pretty good power to weight ratio, so really my advantage on races was serve on the climbs.
You're probably not the best on crit races.
Well, I could hang in there with the crit, I couldn't initiate anything.
You hold the wheel, yeah?
Yeah, because once you know, when you race, it's like an apprenticeship. You don't get it right on the first go. My first ever race, I got blown out the back because I was sitting in the wrong place. I was being exposed to all the wind. I was sitting in the wrong side of the. And then over time, you get to know where to sit in the pack, where to go, where to draft, how to do this, how to do that, and you it's like putting a jigsaw together. You know what have to do, what situation. And then I picked it up pretty fast, and I realised that my strength lay in the hills. I could initiate things on the hill. I couldn't initiate things on flat surface. But when the hills came and it was of any length, I could initiate a move there. I could either break away or I could bridge gaps, and I did very, very well. I got to from you start at fourth, but I got to second cat within my first year.
You went to second cat
in my first year, yeah.
Coming back to them. One story you never told me. I knew that story from newspapers.
Yeah.
The gun story. It started with the gun.
Oh no.
Are you okay to talk about it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
no, I was just doing that in terms of trying to reflect. There's a bit of a background story to this. It's quite interesting because it leads up to that incident, right? Do you want to keep it short, or do you want to just
Go on, mate.
Oh well. We've been in Sarajevo for 4 days. No, 2 days. Me and John. We're in Sarajevo. Now coming throughout Bosnia, anybody who travels through Bosnia, what you'll notice is a lot of the signs of the war still there. The Bosnia War. You see a lot of buildings that are boarded up with bullet holes and all that kind of stuff. And particularly on the outskirts of Sarajevo, you see like shelled out buildings with bullet holes. And even when you get to the centre of Sarajevo, you still see high-rise towers with bullet holes. So, you know, and then one day when we were in Sarajevo, we went to go and visit the Tunnel of Life. Now what the Tunnel of Life is, like during the siege of Sarajevo, that was held for 4 years. During the siege, that the people protecting the city, artillery, food, people were smuggled through this tunnel that they call the Tunnel of Life. It's a 5-kilometer tunnel. If you're claustrophobic, you've had it. It's very narrow and it goes on for a long time. Part of it's open to the public, and the Tunnel of Life basically was the vein, the living vein of Sarajevo when the city was under siege from the Serbs. So we went to visit Sarajevo, and we had a word. The guy who owned the hostel was like in his 50s, and hearing his account, and he said to us that, you know, he had a friend, and you know, food was rationed at the time, and he was in a queue for food because it was, you know, like a food queue. And he got sniped by about a couple of blocks away from a Serbian sniper, point blank straight in his head, killed him there and then, man. I mean, that's how he lost one of his good friends. And when you hear stories like that from people who've experienced that, who lived through the siege, who lived through this tumultuous time, you know, not knowing that one day is going to be the last. And he said, interestingly, he said that, you know, his fear, their fear generally, although we couldn't imagine that the fear wasn't if today's going to be my last day, whether I'm going to get killed today or not by the shelling or by a sniper. The fear was, where am I going to get my next meal from? This was the fear, man. Starving to death, basically, was their fear. More than flipping getting blown out. The brain blown out. And then, so we left Sarajevo later that afternoon, and we're kind of thinking, me and John thinking, what could it be for these people, you know, dodging these bullets and in this shelled up place, and you know, why wouldn't they get out? Why wouldn't they just go through a tunnel of life and be out of this place? Why would they choose to stay? Why would anybody choose to defend a city? It was humbling. So as we left Sarajevo, now we came in from Croatia to Bosnia, and the bulk of it had been a Muslim area. Now we've got cycling late into the night here. We found a little shop in the middle of the countryside, and we was somewhere 1,000 meters in altitude somewhere, because we were pretty high up and it was dark. And we wanted to find somewhere to camp. It'd been late, you know, we'd been cycling for quite a while, and we couldn't find anything to our left and right. Either the field was ploughed on, and you know, if the field's freshly ploughed, it's very, very uneven to lay a tent.
Sure.
Or the land was private. Now what happened was, that day we found a house on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. The house was shelled out. If you imagine an empty house with just floorboards and the windows, the door was nothing door. And you go inside the house, it's just nothing but cement. You can see from your headlight that dust was falling from the roof. There was dry hay. There was dry hay on the floor and cow dung. You can see the cow shit out there. You know, probably when it gets wet. You can see the cow was, the dung was hard and, you know, solid. You could like look at that.
Yeah.
So but opposite that, this is the middle of nowhere. So you got middle of nowhere, an unoccupied house, and a barn behind that. And then you got a house that is occupied. You can see lights on. You can see people moving around. Now, because I saw dust falling from the ceiling, right? Remember, I got my headlight on at this time.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about camping in the house because there's a lot of dust, a lot of particles. I just wanted to. So what I did is I went behind the house and I found a big barn thinking it'd be empty, but I saw it full of machinery and equipment. And I said, shit, we gotta be on somebody's land here, man. So I went back into the house, I went behind the headlight. At this point now, I could see the house that was occupied, the windows, the bodies that were, you know, the people that were moving through that. You could see they were frozen and looking at us, because we just got, imagine their fright.
Yeah.
They live in the middle of nowhere, they know that house, nobody lives in there, yeah, they can see two lights.
Yeah, like a soldier or something.
That's gonna frighten them, but they're there to rob us, they're there to ambushes. Yeah. So when I saw that person look at it, I said to John, listen, Now at this point we set up all our equipment. we set up our tents, we roll out our sleeping mats, we were ready to sleep. So I said to John, listen, I don't have a good feeling about this, man, let's just go. There's someone looking at us as well, man, let's just go. And John, obviously he was tired, it was late, he just gave me reassurance, so, man, it's gonna be alright, man, let's just go. So with John's assurance I thought, okay, we'll be alright I guess. And after a couple of minutes later, we hear this car coming from a distance. And you know when a car's coming fast when you're cycling, you can hear a car coming fast. It was coming like this, thinking that it's just gonna go past the house like that, right? This car pulls a handbrake right outside the house and goes, you hear that noise? And the car just handbrake right outside the house.
That's no good.
And I swear to God, the adrenaline flow that goes through your body and you can feel your heart going boom, 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 boom in your chest. Thinking, fucking hell, who the fuck's pulled up? Who the hell's pulled up in the middle of nowhere? And me and John just froze. John, just get down, put your lights on, get down. We got our lights off and we're just crouching now. Think, what the fuck's going on? And then we hear a car, hear someone slam the door, and a guy talking to us in the house. And he obviously can't sound the word, he's talking in Bosnian, and then we could see the headlight, you know, from the like a haze of the headlight coming into the house. And all of a sudden I hear a gunshot. And I was near to the wall, and the door was there, and the bullet basically missed me by that much, because the shrapnel from the bullet hit my face. I could feel it was like somebody grabbed sand and hit me in my face. I never felt anything like it. So had I been standing there, I would have been shot point blank in the head. But I just stood here, and I heard something, like, was that just like that? Like, bloody hell. So John, like, you know, we were panicking, we were just shouting at the guys, no, please, no, cyclist, velo, any language we can think of, cyclist, velo. And then, you know, because I could see a haze of light, I just saw John come out the bloody door, and he was just like this. I go, fucking hell, man, John's gonna get killed. And I was like, your adrenaline's beating so high at this point, and I'm just, not that I wanted to abandon my friend, but I was looking for a back exit. You know, you can't think straight, you're just thinking, your body just goes into survival mode. Because you never experienced, you never been put in this situation. But at the same time, I think, fucking John's gonna get killed, he's gonna get fucking killed, oh my god. I know what to do, I thought these were my last moments. So basically, there was no back exit, it had been boarded up. And then John goes, Imran, just come out of the house, Imran, come out of the house. And I come out of the house, and I see John.
Was he held hostage?
Yeah. Basically, I come out of the house and see John on his knees, and he's like this. On his knees like this.
Yeah.
And the gunman, right? He had my guts on my head. He shoves me down to put my hand behind my head. Yeah. And he says a few words in Bosnian and goes like that, you know, like that, really aggressively. And at that time, right, I remember, I'll never forget it. You know when you see in the movies when they say your life flashes before you and all that bullshit? It doesn't. Only thing, my father had passed away probably about 8 months before that. And all I could think about was my mum and what her reaction would be. That's all I could think about with my mother. When a guy's got his gun to your head, remember now, I'm not thinking about it, but afterwards, the thoughts were like how these guys in the siege lived there. Now we're experiencing this for real. So that's how it ties with what I told you earlier. I got a gun to my head. It was only for a few seconds. I can't remember. It seemed like it was there forever. I just remember my last prayer and thinking about my mother. You are completely resigned to your fate. You are prepared for death. Okay, just pull the fucking trigger and let's go. Or hopefully it wouldn't, but you know, I'm just thinking like, embrace, and that feeling, thinking, remember,
you just surrender.
You're about to die, get ready, you are about to go, you're about to leave this earth, this is where it ends for you. That means the poor bullet in your head is going to go. I remember I was there for what seemed to be eternity. And that feeling that you're about to die cannot be put into words. Anybody who's felt that and survived to tell the tale can tell you, but I can't tell it. But anyway, it was a very, very a feeling of submission. Yeah. It's not like the films where you can do a backflip like Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee and do a backflip and knock the gun out of his hand and do some more backflips and give him a round. You're completely resigned you are completely resigned to your fate, knowing that a guy's got something against his head. All you got to do is pull his finger a quarter of an inch and you are dead. Okay, so a few seconds like that, and then all of a sudden the guy just backs away. He moves. Where's he going? I'm kind of like almost religious this time. Like I'm breathing very heavy at this point because the adrenaline's like I can't get my breath. You know, I think, what the fuck? Someone's got a gun to my head. And then an old guy comes out the house and he has a few words with him. And then, so the guy comes back to us, pointing the gun, he's not pointing the gun at us anymore. He realised that there's only two guys got the situation under control. And I was saying, no, I'm cycling on velo, and now, before we got to the house, we passed Serbs, we come out the Muslim area, come to Srpska area. Bosnia is very much divided. The Srpska would never go into the Muslim part of Sarajevo. Bosnia is still very much divided. The fallout is still very, very rife. Even though the country's at peace, the people are not getting together anymore. Bosnia and the Muslims keep themselves separate from them. That's why they would not go. And because I didn't know this, I offered him my hand and said Salaam Alaikum, because if I could say I'm a Muslim and force himself, the guy was saying, when I said Salaam Alaikum to him, the guy got aggressive again. He then pushed me to the floor and then pointed the gun to me again, saying a few words. I thought to myself, shit, I've shot myself in the foot here now. And I said to him, sorry, listen, I'm sorry. Sorry, okay, sorry. And then the gunman see what's he doing inside the house. Okay? So he came inside the house and we saw our bicycles and we saw our tents. He put his gun down immediately. We didn't look like a threat, he knew his incident. In fact, before that, before the way he put the gun to my head, when he came back to us, John gave him his wallet and said, please, just take the wallet with everything inside, just leave us alone, let us go.
Did you go back?
The guy just said, I don't want your wallet. Don't give me your wallet, I don't want it, it's not a robbery. Then we realised it's not a robbery. So then he came to the house to see what we were doing. After he pointed the gun to me and I said Salaam Alaikum to him. He came to see what we were doing. And then, I remember adrenaline just getting through here at this point. And then as soon as he saw the bicycle and a tent, he put his gun away down immediately. While I was still holding it, but he put it away immediately. And then he went like this. So listen,
good lads.
You guys listen, it's okay. You guys go to sleep and I'll go.
The build.
The build, Now at this point, right? No, it's okay. At this point, no, it's okay. Look where we are, man. At this point, I'm hysterical, right? I'm thinking to myself, he's going, no, it's okay. You sleep, I'll go. I'm thinking to myself, at this point, this is what I literally said, thinking that he wouldn't understand. I go, thanks for someone else killing us, but I'm getting the fuck out of here. That's exactly what I said. And then the guy just left us to it. Once he realised that we were just guys on a bicycle to camp. And so in hindsight, thinking back now, he just basically dealing with a threat. And we were a threat, and that's what he dealt with. And as soon as we realised, seeing as neutralise that threat completely, it was. And because we were so shooken up by that, all our camping equipment was laid out. And Domas, you're a touring yourself. When you put away your tent and you put away your sleeping bag, and it takes a little while, right? It takes about 15-20 minutes to do it properly. We just threw all our stuff in our bags and got back out into the road, cycling into the middle of the night with the adrenaline still kicking in, just getting through it.
Yeah, I think you can do a lot of miles from that.
Oh man, we didn't feel it. And listen, this is the very weird thing. At the time, we weren't shaking. We were just like, okay, we're gonna ride. And because luckily we were high up, we cycled down. We cycled down to the next town. It was all downhill for about 3 or 4 kilometers. We came to the next town. We saw a couple, two couples, having a little drink and late night, sitting around town. Nobody else was there. I'm going to get some cash out of the machine. John's going, relaying the incident, what has happened, thinking that guns around here are normal. And those guys are like, no, nobody has guns around here anymore. That was a long time ago. And one of the guys took sympathy on us and took us to his flat and gave up his room for the night. He went and stayed with his girlfriend, and his father lived in that flat, and me and John just had his flat for the whole night. And the next morning we had breakfast, and then because we were close to Serbia at that point, I could feel my hands shaking from the night before what happened. Thinking, bloody hell, I shouldn't go home. But
what a story.
Obviously, you want to go home at a time when it's shaking. You're disturbed by what happened, but then obviously as the journey goes on and you get more encounters, more nice encounters, and start to assess the situation of where you were doing and what you were in, what situation you were in, and why you did that, and why I still hold no animosity to the gunman. You were just neutralising a threat. It makes you think that I want to go home, man. You think to your mother, I nearly died last night, man. I want to go see my mum now. What if I died? But then obviously you start having a friendly encounter, you have good encounters. The road irons a lot of things out. I just get on with the journey, and it kind of like, we and John promised, right, let time pass before we ever talk about this, because he was doing regular radio interviews through Skype, through a local radio from down south where he lived in St Albans, just above North London, and so he was giving accounts of how the journey is going to this radio host who would then play on the radio show.
We kept quiet about that.
We kept quiet about that because we didn't want to disturb anybody. We kept that quiet until till I got to
It puts
somewhere.
people
Like,
off.
yeah. Because I didn't want parents thinking that, oh, like, come back home now. You got shot. Fuck that. Get the back home. You're not doing this no more. Come home now, otherwise, you know, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So we just decided to keep that quiet and just carry on. And you know, luckily we got over it within a day or so. You know what I mean? Because we had a good encounter with them. We decided to have friendly encounters again, you know, and realised that we put ourselves in that situation without knowing really. We kind of, even though it was an abandoned house, it was somebody's house at the end of the day. You get me?
Yeah, it's like
So-
you can't blame it.
And since then, I've always been careful where I camped. Always been careful. And I never go into any willy-nilly. You know what I mean? You know, if there's a land with no fencing, you're okay to camp there. You know. But,
Yeah, it's just like what last for problem really.
Yeah. But I'll never forget that, man. And it makes me realise that, you know, the people who lived through that siege, man. 4 damn years. The longest siege in modern warfare. You know. No city was ever held that long in modern times. And people don't realise that, you know, we quickly bring up the Holocaust in World War II or stuff like that. But people don't realise that the largest loss of life since World War II was actually the Bosnia War. The largest loss of life on European soil since World War II is in Bosnia. It's not really remembered about, is it, when it comes to wars? And we're always going back to World War II and World War I. You know, that was an ugly war, man. It was. Yeah.
Sugar water.
The kaki was out because I don't pay the bill.
So what would you recommend like for new tourers like me? I'm only done one tour, a longer tour, just only one now.
What I recommend
What's the best advice? What's the best advice?
You know, this is the one thing about touring, right?
What's the best tip?
Unlike a racing bike or what you should be riding for a time trial or a road bike, touring is very subjective. It's very personal. You pack as heavy, like for example, you're going with a very light one-man tent. With this tour that I'm going on, short tour, I'm taking a 3 kilo.
That's not
3-man
short. You're going like for 10
Yeah.
countries or something.
Well, no, about 5-6. But I'm taking a big. I might even head to Turkey. Who knows? I might just, from Czech, I might just go to Turkey. But the thing is this, right? Because I've always taken that small 2-man tent, which is really 1-person tent. I'm taking a really big, a bigger tent, which is 3 kilos. But I'd rather have that extra room so I can just lay out like that. You know what I mean? And can roll around a bit in the tent, and have that more room. If I want to stay somewhere for a couple of days, I'm not confined to a small space, and I can do. So even though, but I don't mind carrying weight on that thorn. So my advice is to anybody touring, really, there's no right or wrongs. You pack light as you want or heavy as you want. My advice would be, obviously, if you're going to places where you know the climate's going to be varied, you've got to obviously, So you obviously got to prepare. If you're going to be in a country that's really cold, you got to have the gear for cold. Make sure your tent's adequate. That it can, it'll keep the cold out even in minus temperatures. Because I got caught out with that a couple of times, as my tent was only designed for 0 degrees plus. So really, my advice is, look at where you're going, look at what your route is, what's the temperature going to be like, what clothing you're going to need, what kind of you can make it as you want. And the good thing about what I've learned about touring is I kind of fine-tune. A lot of tourists do this. You kind of fine-tune what works for you and what doesn't work for you. You know what to take from next tour. You just need to try. But more importantly, what I would say more than anything is just pack your bike and get on the bike and just go. Even if it's very ad hoc, even if it's very...
You're gonna learn on the go.
You can do so much.
Yeah.
Rather than reading a book and see
you can watch 1,000 YouTube videos, but you have to learn it yourself.
You can watch many videos, all giving different varied advice, but really it all comes down to yourself and what you want to carry and how long. You can get guys who can cycle around the world in these races carrying less than 5 kilos, carrying less than 3 kilos, whereas I carry something like about 20-30 kilos, 30-40 kilos of stuff, about maybe 30 kilos of luggage. Yeah. So really, I was away for a long time, and I knew I was going to be away for a long time, and I packed for all temperatures. I made sure I had a adequate tent, one with a reputable name. One thing I would say is, one advice I would certainly give though to the viewers is that when it comes to tent choice, everything else is subjective, but tent choice is something that I can really feel I have an advice on here. I've seen the most amazing tents that are double the price of my tent, but they require pitching. They don't stand. unless you pitch it to any ground where you can bang a nail into.